While the croissant conjures some of the strongest of all French imagery, along with stripes, sartorial elegance, and seductive language, has the croissant actually been appropriated by the French? In this video, we're going to learn about just how connected some of Europeans' culinary concoctions are. So, come with us as we understand how the rigors of war have helped create one of the daintiest of desserts, as we travel from Austria to France to find out how these countries have been key to creating everyone's favourite morning dessert, the croissant. The history of the croissant is surrounded in legend, but it is starting to be accepted that the modern croissant has its roots in Austria. The pastry is said to have originated from the kipferl, a baked pastry that was popular in Austria from the 13th century. Now, the kipferl was often made with a rich laminated dough. However, for nearly 500 years, it was made in assorted shapes, whatever people could create. So, what happened to the humble kipferl that made it curl up its corners and make it the semi-lunar shape we know today? To find out more, we headed to Vienna. The city of music, art, and culinary delight. Now, with it being Freud's home base for over 77 years or so, it's also called the City of Dreams. But today, I'm going to need you to wake up, get out of your food coma, because we're going to be exploring the world of rich history when it comes to not just culture, but also food. The kipferl's story begins with the mighty Ottoman Empire, a force that had expanded its reach across 3 continents already, and it sought to extend its dominance into the heart of Europe. Throughout the 16th and 17th century, the Ottomans steadily advanced, capturing key territories in Eastern Europe. By the late 1600s, their eyes were set on Vienna, the gateway to the West. The Ottoman forces had the advantage in numbers and certainly firepower, laying siege to Vienna with an impressive array of cannons and an army fueled by the desire for conquest. Inside the city walls, the situation was dire. Residents faced hunger, disease, and constant bombardment. Yet, the defenders, led by Count Ernst Rudiger von Starhemberg, held firm, determined to withstand the onslaught. But, as fate would have it, relief was on the horizon. Polish King Jan Sobieski III, recognizing the gravity of the situation, rallied a coalition force to break the siege and save Vienna. On September the 12th, 1683, the coalition forces, including Polish, Austrian, and German troops, launched a daring counterattack, leading to the Battle of Kallenberg, which unfolded on the hills overlooking Vienna. In a dramatic cavalry charge, King Sobieski and his winged hussars descended upon the Ottoman forces, turning the tide of the battle. The Ottoman forces were decisively defeated, and Vienna and Austria were saved. The Battle of Vienna marked a turning point in history, halting the Ottoman advance into Europe and setting the stage for the decline of their once unstoppable empire. Now, the kipferl has been around for over 300 years. It was created when the Austrians finally managed to purge the Ottoman Empire from the siege of Vienna. And they created this pastry here in the crescent shape to symbolize the beating of the Ottoman Empire, whose flag was obviously of the crescent moon. Now, it's absolutely incredible, and I'm not gonna lie, it almost tastes like Pop Rocks, the way that the sugar bursts in your mouth. It positively explodes, much like the cannons at the Battle of Vienna. Now, I'm gonna apply some of this incredible jam here. I'm gonna apply it just on the inside of this Viennese crescent-shaped dessert, that you can see where the inspiration for the croissant came from. Now, I'm not calling it cultural appropriation, France, but I think you owe quite a lot to the Viennese culinary artists that created the kipferl. How did the kipferl then actually get to France? Now, there are 2 trains of thought. One is quite romantic. Influencers at the time weren't gramming, they were courting. And in the 19th century, Austrian Princess Marie Antoinette married the French King Louis XVI. The woman famous for saying, "Let them eat cake," introduced various Viennese pastries, including the kipferl, to the French court. One train of thought, according to Jim Chevalier, the croissant hit Parisian streets in 1839, much later, when the Parisian press began to mention a new Viennese bakery and its exquisite crisp rolls. Auguste Zang, its founder, would lead a pretty incredible life. In his short time in Paris, it is said that he introduced not only the kipferl, but also the techniques which would one day in 1920 make the baguette possible. How much does France owe Austria? Now, even though the Ottoman Empire only got as far as Vienna, you can tell that Middle East cuisine has really had an effect on the whole world, from sugar to coffee culture and cafe culture. You can really see it. And we're in the Grand Mosque here in Paris. And even though it's not a croissant in the traditional sense, as the West knows it, we still have a croissant-shaped design pastry. Now, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to be, well, hard all the way through like a biscuit, but it is so soft in the middle. Like praline, it's absolutely incredible. So we're about to actually enter into Du Pain at Idées, and I honestly can say I don't think I've seen better looking croissants in my life.
Well, croissants,
So I'm really excited to try them. We're going to share them out amongst the crew as well. It's absolutely incredible. It really does feel like the finished product. We started with the kipferl and we've now come to such a layered, textured, elegant finished product that I really don't think it can be topped. I'm having the best day ever. As we savour the layers of European culinary history, we end our journey right where France's journey with the croissant began, here at Patisserie Viennoise. From its humble beginnings in the Siege of Vienna to becoming the global symbol of France, we really do think that this flaky pastry has baked itself into our hearts. Personally though, I might prefer the kipferl. The glazes, the options. It does feel like a kid in a candy store here.